Well, honestly, it did come out of nowhere because he was originally supposed to face Neville for the belt, but we all know the story of Neville walking out or not even showing up.
And then Kalisto showed up, and he did a good lucha thing.
And then Kalisto showed up. God, yeah, you're absolutely right. Enzo needs to be champion. He's the one that should be the heat magnet. Even though, weirdly enough, he's kind of forming his own 205 Live posse, which kind of contradicts the whole thing of him insulting everybody who's on the 205 Live roster, minus Tozawa. Like, why would he be forming a small 205 Live posse with some... the only name I actually remember him in there was Noam Dar.
And honestly, because that question went unannounced, or unexplained rather, I'm convinced that maybe, just maybe, there's a chance that Enzo will get that title back, and then for the next few weeks, we'll hear from some of the people who he's recruited, and we'll find out why.
I hope so, because this, like I said, I prefer him being the champion, and it's the entire 205 Live roster versus Enzo Amore. I loved that idea. I thought that should be a main focal point of 205 Live, and then have a returning Big Cass be his bodyguard. Be his bodyguard for 205 Live, and then for Raw, Big Cass would be the wrestler, and Enzo would be his manager.
As cool as an idea that is, I think it's a little too soon to do it, just because it was so soon after their big breakup. But again, I'm convinced that there's more narrative potential here that has just gone unexplored.
They would obviously explain it, like, ever since I was gone, I've seen that you have definitely stepped up, and you are definitely like...
Oh no, I'm talking about just the whole incident with the Cruiserweights and Enzo.
I just feel like it should be the World versus Enzo, and Enzo just being the sneaky son of a bitch that he is, getting it back.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like they just... As much as I agree with you, I feel like they kind of screwed the pooch on this one, just because of the whole Kalisto thing happening.
And Kalisto messing up his lines on Raw. He's like, I'm going to beat you and become the new Cruiserweight champion. Kalisto, did you forget that you're the Cruiserweight champion?
He already did a good lucha thing.
It's like, did the old Sin Cara just transfer his botchamania to you? Because goddamn,
some say it is so.
It probably is so. Well, at least we have the Hunakara beating Baron Corbin,
which came out of nowhere, by the way.
It's very random. It's a very weird, interesting time in
wrestling
to be a WWE fan.
Wrestling is silly.
Yes, it is.
Anywho, speaking of not jobbing, we've got next up the debut of Asuka on the main roster versus Emma.
Do we really need to discuss this?
Well, yes, we can.
But you won't, because it's very clear who's winning this one.
Well, I don't know. Emma could possibly. Who am I kidding? Asuka's winning this one.
I was like, come on, it's your girl, man. It's your girl.
Well, to be fair, it's not. There's one question that's a matter of what. There's another question that's a matter of how. And not for nothing, if there's one thing Emma has shown is that she is a prime enhancement talent, and she's worked together well with Asuka to make her look like a star.
This is going to be a 7-minute match.
Okay.
I'm being nice too. 7 minutes.
Okay, here's a Scholar's quick talk for you. Will this be the, I don't want to say pre-break match, but the pre-main event, I guess?
Oh, yes. I actually discussed this with a buddy of mine, how the whole entire card will probably be presented, like in the particular order. Like, I actually think that it's going to open. Let's see. Let me look at the card again. It's going to open with one of the two title matches. I'm thinking it's going to be Kalisto versus Enzo Amore.
I can see that. as far as who goes on before the main event, my guess is either Asuka versus Emma or Kalisto versus Enzo Amore. Neither one of those matches have to be particularly long. They just need to be just long enough. And both of them can get their point across while doing just that.
Part of me is,
in my opinion.
Part of me is thinking it may be the Cruiserweight Tag Team match. Because you know how WWE feels about the Cruiserweights.
Well, that is a possibility too, but
I know that the first
quite sold on that yet.
The first main event will be one of the two women's matches.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cruiserweight Tag Team match will be the in between, and then we're going to have the main event.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to our next match, the Super Duper Halloween Spooktacular match, Sister Abigail versus the Great Pumpkin. Who do you got?
Really, the Great Pumpkin? Do you just say it right. Sister Abigail versus
the Demon.
There you go.
Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Who do you got?
We've discussed this in great detail, all three of us in the past. Bray Wyatt has to win. It's the only way for us to really take the fact that he's transformed into Sister Abigail seriously. It's not just, he's Sister Abigail and then he loses. I don't see Finn. It's not going to hurt Finn Balor. As much as people are saying this feud in general is hurting both these guys, I don't think it is. I actually am thoroughly enjoying this storyline.
Want pure Undertaker-style spectacular spectacle.
Only for the entrances. It'll probably be a legit match. It's not like they're going to do the House of Horrors match again.
I'm not saying they need to do the House of Horrors match. I just want to do, again, in addition to the crazy entrances for the crazy Sister Abigail thing and the Great Pumpkin, I want them to bust out all the crazy special effects, like the bugs in the ring projected onto the ring. I want smoke. I want pyro all over the place. I want crazy ghosts to come in just from the crowd and just coming in on lines of whatever. I want craziness. This is their chance for Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt to do a Halloween-related feud. Finn Balor is already painted up to look like the Great Demon Pumpkin thing, whatever. Bray Wyatt is going maximum spook mode. I want this. I'm going to lean into this all the way, and I want to see both these guys just go completely 100% off the wall bonkers.
I don't want that. I'm thinking, can I just, whatever it is you're smoking, can I have some? Because I don't want the one thing I do not want is more projection of the bugs. I don't want, for only the entrances.
Well, yeah, that's been done before.
For only the entrances, I want the crazy, scary, spectacular nonsense. I want this to be basically just a straightforward match, and then the crazy spooktacular is before and after.
I want Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor to summon armies of crazy demon people and ghosts and all this and stuff, and it ends up turning the match into a lumberjack match where both sides fight each other.
Fool, this isn't Army of Darkness. It's not going to become...
Demons and ghosts will fight each other, and then the Wyatt family will come in and just beat up everybody.
You know what I want to see for his entrance? For at least Bray Wyatt's entrance as Sister Abigail? Have druids in lamb masks. And somewhat and have lanterns guide him down.
Now you're talking.
That, like I said, only for the entrances. That's the only thing I want, because it's all about the whole cult is because they're following Sister Abigail, and have have the personified Sister Abigail, the spirit of Sister Abigail using Bray Wyatt's body as a vessel. Be more like that. It's the cult is there to worship Sister Abigail. But like I said, it's only for the entrance. We're not getting an Army of Darkness match. As much as I see you glowing right now, just at the thought of that.
Army of Darkness match. Book it, WWE.
We're not going to have Bruce Campbell show up out of nowhere in the audience. Just
that is a great tie over, and you know it.
It's hilarious.
You're giving me all these ideas. Just have him show up on like Monday Night Raw.
He's just gonna show up, just sitting in the audience just before this match, going, "Hey, it's Bruce Campbell of all people to be here. Watch Ash versus the Evil Dead."
And then Bray Wyatt shows up. It writes itself, people. It writes itself.
No, it really does not like that. But really, seriously though, have lamb druids, sheep mask druids, people holding lanterns, similar to the Undertaker's druids at WrestleMania, holding the torches. Have something similar to that, but it's with Bray Wyatt, Bray Abigail,
and then there's Bray Abigail Wyatt.
Yeah, exactly.
Sister face.
That's what I want to see. But yeah, it's still Sister Abba Wyatt.
Sister Abigail Wyatt face.
I like Sister Abba Wyatt.
I like the Great Pumpkin.
I'm actually I'm going to show Elizabeth the Great Pumpkin this year.
You should, and then show him Bray Wyatt.
And then absolutely. She's still a huge fan of Seth Rollins. Okay. That's what I love. I'm so proud of her.
Anyway, speaking of Seth Rollins, that should bring us to what I personally believe will be the main event of the evening.
Duh.
The Shield versus Braun Strowman versus The Miz versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
Da, 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 da.
And your boy Kane out of nowhere.
It really was out of nowhere. Like, really. It's kind of understandable why Kane shows up and attacks Roman Reigns. Because, he keeps bragging how he beat The Undertaker. It's once again another clear as day who's going to win this one. It's going to be the Shield. They just came back. They're going to show their dominance. The only real complaint I have about the Shield coming back is it's once again. I feel like this is more of a ploy to get Roman Reigns over more. They're trying to use the nostalgia of the Shield. They're trying to use Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose to help push Roman Reigns to be in a big position where he continuously gets popped. But granted, it kind of is working, mainly for nostalgia purposes.
I have a hard time calling it nostalgia since it was only 3 years ago.
It was, but people are still calling it a nostalgia act.
Well, they're dumb.
I kind of see it as a nostalgia. It's a recent nostalgia, but it's still nostalgia.
But either way, to your point that you were saying just now, I've got no problem with this because even if they do want to make Roman Reigns a top guy, still, this is how you keep him over in the general sense of the word to the entire fan base. Because if you're with the Shield, you're still being used well. The Shield, whether you like them or, well, let's face it, I think everyone likes the Shield, but either way, the Shield works. The Shield is over. People like the Shield.
One thing I definitely like about right now is that Dean Ambrose has kind of dropped his comedy side of his craziness, and
which
which is working greatly in his favor because this is the Dean Ambrose everyone wants. They want to get rid of the goofiness of the crazy Dean Ambrose and just the kind of, I won't say scary fully, but to show that yes, he is a very disturbed individual, psychotic, and people are saying he's he's today's Brian Pillman,
and which I've always agreed with,
which I agree with too. And just like I said, they dropped the cartooniness of it. Now it's something that you have to be. He's someone that you have to be concerned not to be on his bad side.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had an idea. Well, I didn't have an idea. I heard a very interesting idea for what they could do in this match. I'm going to make a Scholars Quick Talk out of it. First off, let me explain the scenario.
So it's not going to be a quick talk. It's just going to be a talk.
Oh, no. It will be a quick talk, and I'll explain in a minute. Here's the scenario that I've heard someone outline, I believe, on Reddit. And I think it's a very interesting idea. You're looking at a 3-on-5 scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say first the team of Miz, Strowman, whoever comes out. They come out first, and then the Shield come out. They start circling the ring. But then they're like, you know what? we could actually use some help. All of them point over to the ramp, and then the authors of pain come out.